That's a whole lot of carnage.
Yeah, it's a lot of carnage.
That's carnage. This video is carnage.
But it's absolute.
It's absolutely
and
carnage.
Only Sith deals in absolute.
Maximum carnage your brain with this information.
Yeah, or we can just web it up.
Yeah.
Woo! A lot of dad jokes, and we're not even brothers. Hey guys, welcome to Just LittlePodcast. Today's video is going to be Character Spotlight. Character Spotlight is going to be a new segment where we dive into characters that we think are going to be interesting.
And it's for you guys who are looking to take a step into a different character from what you currently read now. Hopefully we can provide some overview of the character that might be so interesting. We wouldn't be doing Donny Cates any justice if we didn't mention Carnage, considering the fact that he just came out with Absolute Carnage this past week. Crazy reviews. It's been amazing. If you guys haven't been following his whole Venom run currently, or Silver Black, everything he's putting out is absolute gold. So I definitely suggest that you guys pick up Absolute Carnage, especially if you want to start on the character Carnage himself.
Yeah, it's definitely a great start. This book is a really, really thick book. It does have a little high price tag on there because it's covering over probably like 3 solid books in one. So Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman do go and take every single page into consideration and make sure they go and bring a book that if you didn't know who Cletus Kasady was, you can figure out who he was in this book and kind of get a strong understanding of who this character is and why he is so psychotic.
Exactamente! But to give you guys a little bit of insight on who Carnage is in the event that you haven't picked up the book or you haven't had a chance to, we're going to touch on that today.
Yeah, Cletus Kasady, for those who don't know, is actually the host of the symbiote suit. Cletus Kasady came into the picture back on Amazing Spider-Man 344. That one was done by David Michelin Man, and then Erik Larsen. Erik Larsen? I think it's Erik Larsen. Larsen Man. Erik Larsen Man. So those two guys ended up creating Cletus Kasady, who was a supervillain. And then later on in Amazing Spider-Man 361.
Not really a supervillain?
He's a villain.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah, he is a straight psychopath.
He's crazy.
And then 361, which is this book right here, both Mark Bagley and David also introduced Carnage, which is in 361.
So Cletus Kasady, to give you guys a small background of where he came from, he actually went through a lot of horrific things as a child.
Yeah, one of the biggest things was his father ended up killing his mom. And he ended up having to go to court as a kid and testifying against his dad. And then his dad shortly died after because he was sentenced to the electric chair. And he just went on a spiral downhill really, really fast to the point that he pushed his grandma off the stairs.
I can't imagine doing that.
Yeah, pour one out for my homies, man. I mean, that is brutal. The fact that you're going to witness your dad kill your mom, and then you're going to go and kill your grandma, who's now helping you out. And it just went from there on, and he ended up going and killing 11 people that he was actually guilty of, but he actually killed way more than that. I think he went up to 14 and beyond that.
There's gonna be carnage.
If you guys don't know, when a symbiote attaches itself to you or to its host, it takes a lot of the characteristics of that host. Being that time when Carnage attached himself to Cletus Kasady, he was already in jail.
Yeah, he was in jail.
He was already messed up.
Yeah, he was in jail with Venom.
With Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock.
What was the asylum?
Ravenclaw Asylum.
Wait, are you dead up?
I'm serious. I think it's called.
It's called Ravenclaw?
I think it's Ravenclaw Criminal Asylum.
Oh wow.
Or criminal for the insane. Criminal Hospital for the insane.
Shout out to the Harry Potter fans. I didn't what? Yeah, Ravenclaw.
I want to say it's Ravenclaw. Don't quote me. We only know a little about a lot, all right? So bear with us.
Okay, so yeah, Eddie Brock was actually in the jail cell with Cletus Kasady at the time, and they were
cellmates.
Yeah. Cletus Kasady didn't like him at all.
No, he didn't.
And he was actually sharpening a shiv at that moment, planning his attack on Eddie Brock. Coincidentally, Venom came to break Eddie out.
Yeah, and that's where kind of Cletus got introduced into Carnage, because Carnage ended up getting into his bloodstream. A little different from how Eddie Brock got introduced to Venom.
Sidebar. symbiotes are
Asexual.
They reproduce by just separation of the actual symbiote, causing a new one. From my understanding, and you can correct me, they maintain majority of this like skill set or power set of the previous symbiote, while also increasing in power.
Correct.
So hence Carnage.
Yeah, Carnage has quite a bit of abilities. He has not only Spider-Man's abilities as far as being able to stick to walls, being able to shoot webs, but he also can go and manipulate his body to go and change it to a different form. And he has incredible superhuman strength.
Now, Cletus Kasady, to recap, is just in the asylum for killing 11 people, is experienced childhood trauma with the death of his mother, pushing his grandma down the stairs. I mean, this guy is crazy.
Yeah, and that's just to name a few. Like, he's gone on some incredible sprees. Not to be good incredible, but some incredible sprees.
So you could expect that Carnage just totally took this and ran with it. And I think what made it so scary and all the issues preceding 361 is the fact that there was a villain out there that was just killing aimlessly.
Yeah.
I mean, usually when they have a villain in any Marvel, or even if you were to take it to, in general, a superhero universe, they usually have a reason behind it. But Carnage was just straight killing people because he was straight killing people.
Just enjoyed to do it.
Just straight massacre. And his writer, David Michelin, actually recently had an interview on the character, and he expressed how at the time they were trying to figure out how to create a character, how to introduce another symbiote into the storyline without really affecting Venom and Eddie Brock's character.
Yeah.
The reason being that Venom and Spider-Man was a huge deal back then, right when they were coming out. It was a huge ordeal. They were doing amazing at the time. So the way he went about it was by way of reproduction and with the introduction of Carnage to Cletus Kasady. If you guys want to pick up any notable books before touching into Absolute Carnage, just to get a feel of who he is, I think a good way to start is 344, introducing Cletus.
Yeah.
And then maybe 340 that has the cameo of Carnage.
Absolutely. And if you have a little bit of money left over, you can always go and pick up this nice investment, which is, of course, 361, first appearance of Carnage, full appearance of Carnage.
And then some other ones that you can possibly get is Maximum Carnage, which was a big deal too for having Venom and Spider-Man team up to defeat Carnage. No spoilers.
Absolutely.
Cool. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to comment down below. If there's any other characters that you guys want us to cover in this new segment called Character Spotlight, let us know in the comment sections down below. We will also include any of the books mentioned here today below in the description box, as well as any of the books that will take part in the Absolute Carnage, so you guys can have a checklist.
Absolutely. No pun intended.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. We always drop a video every single Friday, so you can always go and subscribe to us down below. Hit the notification bell, because every Friday we're dropping out a new video.
And smack us with a like button.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Take care, guys.
Have a good one.
Later. All right.
The screen or the lens?
I do both.
Oh.
I kind of have one eye going this way, one eye going that way.
I'm scared to because you could tell.
That you're bouncing back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember when I was looking around, I was like, oh, nice room. Nice brick back here. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. It's a brick, bro.
Hard as a brick. 3, 2, 1.